Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out the video. Let's talk about the matchup between Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes. Now, Chad Mendes is filling in for Jose Aldo, who was injured in training camp and hurt his rib. Now, a lot of people are talking about Jose Aldo. They're saying he's a pussy, he's a bitch, etc. He was afraid of Conor McGregor, um, on and on and on. My opinion on this matter is that yes, Jose Aldo was cleared by UFC doctors, but I believe that Jose Aldo had a significant rib injury that definitely hurt him, and he felt that he could not fight at a high ability against Conor McGregor. And I back Jose Aldo on this. I think that he definitely was hurt, and I think that he didn't want to take the fight because of that. And I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, Jose Aldo, to me, top pound for pound fighter in the world, comes from an extreme rough upbringing in Brazil, and he was motivated for this fight. There's no way, in my opinion, that he would have wanted out of this fight unless he was severely hurt and couldn't perform up to his ability. And before you comment any further on it, think about this in another aspect. Look at Manny Pacquiao. He went into a big fight, didn't put on a good performance. And look at the criticism he received after that fight. And think about if Aldo came in there and did absolutely nothing against McGregor, how would fans feel about that spending pay per view money? So moving on, guys, I think that's completely disrespectful the way that Jose Aldo was treated, to be honest, by a lot of fans. If you're calling him a bitch and a coward, things of that nature, I think you should go to where he's from in Brazil and make it to this point of his life before you talk bad about him. Definitely got a lot of respect for Aldo, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about Conor McGregor and what he brings to the table for this fight. Conor McGregor becoming an absolute huge star in the UFC. I think he's great for the sport of MMA. He brings a lot of new fans into MMA. And when you look at some of the skill set that you see Conor McGregor bring, fights out of the southpaw stance. He's got good movement. He understands distance. That's one thing that's really key, I think, to his striking is he'll use his range. And once he finds the range, he'll kind of pitter patter you and understand the distance, and that way he can keep landing significant strikes throughout the fight. Very unpredictable standing up. He'll throw spinning kicks. He uses a variety of punches such as uppercuts. So McGregor really uses all his tools on the stand up, and I like his movement. And I really think he tries to always have an unpredictable style in there and not always do the same things that fighters can pick up on. So I think that's big in the career of Conor McGregor. And he's backed up all the trash talking he's done. You can say what you want about the guy, but he's been in exciting fights and he's backed up everything he said. Now let's talk about Chad Mendes and what he brings to the table. Chad Mendes is a guy with a high level wrestling background, excellent double leg takedown, comes from a very good team and Team Alpha Male, and he's improved his striking over the years. You look at him now, he's got a very nice right hand. He'll throw a nice overhand as well, right? And he'll actually land some body shots as well in the stand up and try to implement combos that way. And I also think that Mendes, he's been in there with Jose Aldo twice, which is going to be significant for this fight. The second fight was an absolute classic war. So he's been in there with good fighters. Also defeated Ricardo Lamas. So that's something to note of Chad Mendes. He's definitely worthy of this title, this shot basically of the title now because Jose Aldo was stripped of Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes. Now, moving on, guys, let me talk about who has some advantages, in my opinion, in this fight. So, McGregor's advantages in this regards are I think that McGregor uses better movement. I think that Conor McGregor is a better striker. He's very versatile. He has the size and reach advantage going into this fight. And I also believe he has the power advantage in this matchup. Now, when you look at Chad Mendes, I believe Chad Mendes has the wrestling advantage, an overall grappling advantage for this fight in terms of clinches, different things like that, top position on the ground. Um, I also believe that Chad Mendes has faced the better fighters of the two, and I also believe that Chad Mendes physically is a stronger fighter than Conor McGregor is, in my opinion. So my prediction for this fight, I'm actually going to go with the underdog in this matchup and pick Chad Mendes, to win this fight via unanimous decision, because I believe that Chad Mendes will be able to mix up his wrestling, and I'll believe in some exchanges he'll be able to get the double leg takedown and be able to hold Conor McGregor down and score some points that way. Now I could be completely wrong in this, and If Conor McGregor keeps Chad Mendes to the outside in this fight and keeps this fight standing and stops Mendes' takedowns, Mendes is going to be in for a world of trouble. And then I think Conor McGregor would actually win maybe a late stoppage or unanimous decision. So I'm going to pick the underdog Mendes strictly due to his grappling, his experience in big fights. That's my reasoning for picking this fight. Overall, great fight. And we're going to see what Conor McGregor is like with his takedown defense, his ground game in this fight. And I think he's going to be pushed to a whole nother level. So if he wins and does so impressively, much credit to him. And this guy's 100% for real, even though I already think he's for real anyways, validates it even further. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning into the video. Really appreciate it, and have yourself a good one.